Okay, so you guys know I keep it real on this channel, and many of you come to me and say, hey Kate, my budget's not working. So let's just have an honest, open conversation about why your budget might suck. Happy Frugal Friday, friends. I'm so glad you are here with us today watching the Kaden channel. A lot of you watch my channel because I make budgeting fun. It doesn't feel so grueling. It doesn't feel so stressful. And that's what I'm intending to do again for you today. Let's talk about why maybe your budget is not getting you where you are wanting it to get you. Let's talk about why your budget sucks. Number one, if you use air quotes around the word budget when you're referring to your own budget, your budget could suck. Here's an example of what a conversation like that might look like. So you're having a hard time paying your bills. Well, first things first, do you have a budget? Do I have a budget? Of course I've got a budget. I mean, I budget. You know, it's like I have a monthly budget, you know. You know what I'm saying? Do you have a budget or do you have a budget? I'm not giving you ish if you really don't have a budget yet. The reason I say this is because a lot of the times people think they have a budget. In their mind, they think like, oh, well, I know what my mortgage costs. I know what my daycare costs. So like, I know what my budget is. But a true working functional budget, in my opinion, is a unique written monthly plan every single month. As you guys know, I watch a lot of Dave Ramsey, and I just think he is so right on with this concept. If every single month you write out your budget before the month begins and have a plan and then execute the plan, your life is going to change. I have several budgeting videos to help you out. I'm going to leave one right here. If you're new to budgeting, it's how to create your first budget that will actually work. Number two, you don't track all of your expenses. Every single dollar you spend needs to be tracked. And some people will just stop at the gas station and be like, oh, chocolate bar here, Gatorade here, and then not mark it down. And you thought, oh, that was $5. $5 here, $5 there, and $5 everywhere adds up to be a huge number that might just be slipping you by. And if you're not tracking every single dollar you spend, you don't really know exactly where your money is going. So you've got to track. I personally use EveryDollar. I'm going to leave the first video right here of a series I did on how to use EveryDollar. If you don't have a tracking app or a tracking method, if you just do pen and paper, cool. But if you actually want somewhere to put your budget, I go step by step on how to do that in EveryDollar if you're interested. Tracking every dollar you spend at first might be alarming. It was for me. When I first started budgeting, the year that I started budgeting, it was in the month of July, which is like a big month for me because that's when my son's birthday is and it's summer and it's kind of a different month out of the whole year for me. And it took me about 3 months to really get into a solid habit of this, to really track every dollar, know where all my money is going, and then I had a real clear picture of my spending habits, and it's literally changed my life. So I'm really going to encourage you to track every single dollar. You can do it. Number three, you disregard irregular expenses. Now I'll give you a couple examples for me. One of my irregular expenses is renter's insurance. I pay renter's insurance every single January. And now I'm in the habit of it, but for the first 2 years when January came again, I was like, man, I forgot to budget that. Another thing might be car insurance if you don't pay it monthly. I know many of you pay it monthly, but many of you do like the 6-month option like I do. So I think it's May and November for me, I have to pay a bigger lump sum because you get a discount if you do it in the lump sum every 6 months instead of doing it monthly. So of course I want that discount, but that comes up. And it's not something I pay every month. So if you forget about it, my car registration is this month. And that's another thing that, again, it's not a regular expense. It's not my rent. It's not my childcare. It's not my phone bill. It's not my internet bill. It's something that is not every single month. So you've got to plan for those things way ahead of time. So when it does come up, you're prepared. And again, that's why I do, as we talked about in number 1, a unique monthly written budget. Because again, my January looks different than my November. You want to be planning for that month ahead of time and all the expenses that come with it. We just had September in October, and that was like a fundraiser for Kaden in September, his school pictures in October. These other little irregular expenses that now I'm getting the habit of now that he's in 1st grade. We've gone through it in kindergarten first. It'll be 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade. The same little things are going to come up, and now I can plan for that. So just be aware of it and make a plan. Could you guys just take a second and go in the comments and leave what your irregular expenses are that will help us trigger what we need to remember to add into the budget in the appropriate month? Just leave them below. Thank you. Number 4, you don't budget for the unexpected or straight up mistakes. We're not perfect. Our budget, no matter how perfect we think we get it, stuff's gonna come up, right? Tires are gonna blow. Air conditioners are gonna break. Dishwashers are gonna break. If I only had a dishwasher. Things that are unexpected and unpleasant are going to happen, and that is something you've got to budget for. And there's gonna be mistakes, meaning you suddenly late night one night are on Amazon and you just click purchase, and you instantly feel buyer's remorse and you don't reverse it and you spent more than you planned. You're human. It's gonna happen. So just have a little cushion when you can. So what's the solution? An emergency fund. That emergency fund is going to save your tail. So again, when I'm talking about budgeting and you're watching all my videos, just remember emergency fund, 3 to 6 month expenses. Sorry, I keep scratching my eye there. 3 to 6 month expenses is what is, I would say, like a traditional amount. And you have to decide what that is for you. Go through your budget, see what your absolute must-haves would be. If you lost your job tomorrow, if something horrible happened and you couldn't work, you've got to know how much your monthly expenses are, times it by 3 or 6, whatever you're most comfortable with, and work toward that. Your emergency fund is going to save you when you're on the side of the road and your tire's blown. It's going to save you when you all of a sudden have a medical bill you didn't expect. And all these things, to certain degrees, will happen on some kind of level. So be prepared. That's my best advice with that. Have an emergency fund, work toward it. It will save your booty. Number 5, the last reason your budget sucks is because you are not customizing it for yourself. We always say personal finance is personal for a reason, and it is. You might hear me tell you how I budget. You might hear other YouTubers sharing their 50, 30, 20 budget. You might hear the envelope method, and you might not fit into any of these budgets that will actually work for you. Some could. You've got to play around, you've got to experiment. But if it's not working, there's a big chance that that budget's not for you. That's not the way that it's going to speak to you. It's not the way it's going to motivate you. I have a video here. I don't do the cash envelope system, and I explain why. But a lot of people swear by it. They think it's the best. Me, it's not for me. So I use EveryDollar. I budget ahead of time. I have my own method of doing things, and that's what's working for me. So if your budget's not working the way it is, you've got to do what works for you and disregard the things that don't work for you. Just because it works for one family doesn't mean it's going to work for yours. And that's so cool. When you find a budget that works for you and you start seeing progress and your debt starts melting away and your savings starts piling up, it's so motivating and it will inspire you to keep figuring out what is your style. Find your style of personal finance and make it happen and execute it and get excited about the idea of having money and having some freedom. It's awesome. Now you know why your budget might just suck. And if it sucks right now, it's okay, because you're going to comb through it now and you're going to figure out how to make it suck a little less. Save a little more, pay off a little more debt. You got this, guys. If you like this content, please give me a thumbs up. Hit subscribe if you're not a subscriber yet. Hit the bell so that you know every time I upload. Down in the description, I'm going to leave other ways to reach me. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, and I have an exclusive email list that I'm going to be just sharing important things with you guys first in the emails. So if you want that, please sign up down below. And as always, have an awesome weekend. I love reading comments. So if you have a reason that you know is the reason your budget sucks, please leave it down below. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.